Hello everyone, in today's video we're going to be talking about The First Descendant and its new feature. We are going to be on PC Gamer today. This article is by Andy Chalk. Thank you for the article. It will be down in the description below if you'd like to read along or just read for yourself. The title goes, The First Descendant announces important news. It's getting an official jiggle physics, which it somehow didn't have already. The much requested feature will be added in a future patch. Update. And honestly, I also can't believe this game doesn't have jiggle physics. I swear it did. I never actually played the game, but I saw other people playing, and I swear stuff was jiggling, but I guess not the way it was intended, or not necessarily the way it was intended, but I guess it was because the game, to be fair, is kind of fast paced most of the time. So actually during gameplay, it's very hard to tell. But apparently there was no jiggle figures on these characters, which I can't believe it because they're not even pretending what these models are supposed to like trying to be. Like they're not pretending. You'll see later down in the article of like the pictures of the characters. Like they're not trying to hide what this is for. Somehow it turns out that The First Descendant, the game PC gamer Morgan Park called Dollar Store Destiny, starring exclusively hot people, does not have jiggle physics. I don't know about Dollar Store Destiny, but I also don't really like Destiny, so to be fair, I'm biased when it comes to that. I know this because, as noted by Games Radar, developer has announced on Discord the important news that The First Descendant is getting jiggle physics. I wanted to share some important news, so I decided to come online late tonight. TFD PD Lee said in a translated message after a lengthy discussion with the AD today, a discussion that has been made to add the much requested jiggle physics that was decided only a short while ago, so the details of when and how it will be implemented in the game are yet to be finalized and will be shared in future updates. To be fair, something like this will probably be kind of annoying to add because they have to add it to all the models and make sure all the skins for the models work. And there's questions like, is it just for the character models or NPCs or enemies, all that good stuff. So this is the Discord message. Hello, it's already past midnight in Korea time. I had a busy day, so I'm just now checking into the Q&A channel. I may not be able to check in frequently tomorrow either, as I have a packed schedule starting early in the morning. However, I wanted to share some important news, so I decided to come online late tonight. After a lengthy discussion with the AD today, I wonder what AD stands for. I'm not sure. A decision has been made to add the much requested jiggle. I keep starting to say jizzle physics for some reason. Jiggle physics. This was decided only a short while ago, so the details of when and how it will be implemented in the game are yet to be finalized, and it will be shared in the future updates. I hope this will be a pleasant surprise for our dear successors who have been waiting for it. I honestly can't believe this game doesn't have jiggle physics, but we're going to continue on. I'm still baffled the fact that this game does not. We'll continue on to see, because like, funny enough, I was actually thinking about this game a couple weeks ago, saying, you know, I remember downloading it, but I never actually played it because they were having launch issues when I originally downloaded it, so I ended up not playing it. So funny enough, like on something like this wouldn't bring me back because, you know, I don't really care, but it's very funny that this wasn't part of the game originally. It's so interesting. For those who don't know, jiggle, oh my god, I keep trying to say jizzle. I don't know why. Jiggle physics is a catch-all term for systems that add unmissably exaggerated oscillations to certain specific body parts. Wikipedia has a whole section dedicated to it, saying jiggle physics, which described more as prospectively prosecly as breast physics, dates back to 1992 in the fighting game Fatal Fury 2. Right. Yeah, I actually know that. Like time frame of when those physics started being added into games, when that stuff was being okay. Well, okay, being okay and being implemented. It's grown to a near ubiquity in decades since, although it's not everyone's cup of tea. In 2018, for instance, Epic added and then quickly removed jiggle physics in Fortnite, calling it embarrassing and unintended. I mean, to be fair, that's a kid's game. That, like, Fortnite is supposed to be for the kids, right? It's supposed to be a kid's game, so that kind of makes sense. How does a game studio unintentionally add jiggle physics to a character? This I do not know. Yeah, I don't know how that would be added accidentally as well. I remember that story, but yeah, I still don't know how they accidentally add something like that. Larian, on the other hand, seemingly opted to expand that particular field of technology by adding schlong physics to Baldur's Gate 3 in 2023. True, but Baldur's Gate 3 is a very different game and audience compared to the Fortnite. To be fair though, jiggle physics isn't necessarily a bad thing. Like, I don't think it'd be the worst thing to add in Fortnite. It's just how exaggerated they are. Physics for characters' body parts should be in games, but it's just the extent of the physics. Like, obviously, like having the boobs constantly jiggle around all crazy like in Fortnite would not be good. It's just weird and probably adds nothing. But like having the character models react to explosion stuff and like I don't know, it's just I'm not saying that you should add it to Fortnite, but I'm saying I don't remember how bad it was in Fortnite in 2018, but it's just one of those things where characters having jiggle physics on all parts of their body, whether it be the boobs or just thighs or arms or even the guy's chest as well. There's guys' chests that have jiggle physics as well. And fat characters. Fat characters have jiggle physics as well sometimes too. In fact, there are some games that like especially have jiggle physics for that purpose, which is very funny in my opinion. But I do feel like it's kind of like like it feels like it's pushed as something that is intended for mature audiences where it's just things moving. The most surprising thing of all this is that I alluded to earlier is that the first Descendant didn't have jiggle physics in the first place. It's a perfectly serviceable Destiny 2 knockoff, but what it probably most notably first is, as Morgan put it, in its cast of exclusively and comically beautiful supermodels. The aesthetic is not really subtle. It's true. These are the characters in this game. These are the characters like this, and it's so crazy to me that these characters don't have any jiggle physics at all. Like apparently the character models are stiff, or not stiff, but like there's no physics to them, which is crazy to me to think of. Because like, look, I know I just went on this thing where jiggle physics isn't inherently a bad sexual thing, but when you're making character models like this and you're posing them like this in a seasonal in a promotional art, you know exactly what you're doing. You know exactly what you're doing, what type of game you're making, and the audience you're going for. And the fact that these models don't have jiggle physics is hilariously an oversight to me. But you know, it's whatever. Based on the entire celebrity reaction on Reddit, TFDPD Lee definitely wasn't wrong about this being important news. It's true. It is probably for the people still playing this game. It's a big deal because half I would say a quarter of the people playing this game is purely for the characters and just looking at the characters, which I'm not even saying that as a negative thing. There's tons of games that have games like that for the characters, specifically games like, especially free to play games where they're basically gotcha games. I don't think First Descendant is officially a gotcha game, but it's basically a gotcha game, like a Honkai Star Rail, Genshin, or Zenless Zone Zero, or even games like Nike and stuff like that, where the characters are part of the draw. But then this isn't the first Jiggle-related update Nexon has brought upon the First Descendant. In October, it removed the tails from the game's Twisted Workshop skin so player could see more tail. Yeah, see, look, I mean, they're not even trying to hide it, but it's weird that none of it had physics. It's interesting that a game like this doesn't have jiggle physics, because you would think it would be like priority number one to have these character models have the physics that it wants, but apparently not. It's strange. That it's honestly very strange. Here's the official tweet. Check out the new Twisted SE version. We removed the tail from the original Twisted Worship skin, and this update will go live on Wednesday, October 30. Yeah, okay, it's just saying the advertisement for it. Yeah, but that's the end of the article, and it is very interesting that this game didn't have jiggle physics. I'm sure everyone in the community will be happy about this. Funny enough, I actually wanted to play this game at some point. The problem is with all these types of free to play games for me is that I'm just not the daily grind type of player. Like I don't really like, there are some games that I'm okay with doing daily quests in and stuff like that, but honestly, I'm not coming back for the daily quests and stuff like that. When I'm playing a game every day, it's just because I like the game and I want to play it every day. But I guess I'm just not that type of player to like grind out a game. I don't like the concept of grinding out a game because you shouldn't be praising a game when takes a long time to do stuff. But I understand that in the free to play market, it's part of like a daily routine almost, like doing the dailies, getting your quests done for that day to prepare for the next update. Like, you know, I know a lot of people that play Zenless or Honkai Star Rail, and it's part of like, it's more of like not a job, because in my opinion that's not a good description, but it's part of a routine that you do because you can't wait for the new content to come up and you want to be prepared. So you want to have enough materials and all that crafting materials, all that type of stuff. And this, for the First Descendant, is also that type of game. And I don't know, it's just never been, I've never been into that style of game for long periods. Like, I've enjoyed Honkai and I've enjoyed Zenlist, but I don't play them regularly. And I honestly don't even come back for big updates. I just play it randomly when I decide, I kind of want to play that because I want to play the gameplay. And in this game, I was not interested in the gameplay basically at all. I was interested because other people were playing, and I was like, okay, I'll play it with friends. But then the launch issues were happening, so I uninstalled the game and never played it. I played it for like 2 minutes because I couldn't connect to a server. So yeah, it's interesting that this game didn't have jiggle physics. I'm interested to see how many people come back for this update whenever this update hits, because that is going to be very funny to see how many people reinstall the game or start playing the game again because they added jiggle physics to all these characters. I think that'll be very amusing, at least to me, to see who decides to download the game just for that update. I'm sure there'll be other things in the update, so it's not going to be purely just that, but it'll be funny. But thank you everyone for watching today's video. This is a very funny story that I saw that I kind of had. I wanted to talk about this because I like the article said, I can't believe this game didn't have it initially. If you'd like to support me, please subscribe to the channel. I cover gaming news at least 3 times a week. If you'd like to subscribe, I appreciate it. Like, comment, all the good YouTube stuff. If you'd like to follow me on other platforms, I have a Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, and a Blue Sky, and a Threads if you'd like to follow me on any of those social platforms, whichever one you prefer. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Goodbye, everyone.